Okay, wow. You may be thinking, what does Morocco has to do with America and the freedom, right? What does it have to do? Morocco became the very first country of all the countries in the world at that time to recognize the United States of America, a Muslim country. And there were many, the open house that we have here, the very first open house with the Muslims, it was in the White House. When Jefferson was the president, he invited the Muslims and people of other faith, and maybe some good food, right? I'm not sure what they ate up there. So that was the very first open house. And many Muslims, about 300 plus, they fought in the Civil War for the freedom of the slaves and the unity of our country. And what are some of the recent contributions, right? What building is that? Or the Willis Tower, right? Or the Willis Tower. And lo and behold, the main architect of the Willis Tower was none other than a Muslim coming from Bangladesh as an immigrant. He perfected the technique of making the skyscrapers higher and higher. And he's called as the father of tubular engineering. To such an extent, he had an impact on the field of engineering that all the skyscrapers in the world, they use the same technology, even the Trump Towers. All right. They do, by the way, right? So Mr. Trump should have to thank a Muslim immigrant coming from Bangladesh. One of the founders of YouTube was none other than a Muslim whose father was an immigrant from Bangladesh again. And founder of YouTube was a Muslim. His name is Javed Karim. The iPhone, Steve Jobs was not a Muslim, right? But his father was a Muslim coming from Syria. And you guys like ice cream cones? Yeah? Ice cream? Yeah, me too, right? Ice cream was invented in 1904 by a Muslim immigrant coming from Syria. So the story goes like this. They ran ice cream. They ran of the ice cream cups in 1904 World Fair in St. Louis. And the person in the booth in the store next to this ice cream parlor, he said, why don't you take this sweet bread that I'm selling to people, make it into the form of a cone, and put the ice cream on top of it. And that's how ice cream cone was invented, right? In 1904 by a Muslim immigrant from Syria. So these are some of the prominent Muslims that you may recognize by their faces. Malcolm X and Muhammad Ali, Keith Ellison, who became the very first Muslim in the US Congress, and many, many Muslims. Just to give you a glimpse that Muslims are there in different fields in the landscape of America to make America better. 50,000 patients were treated by Muslim physicians when the earthquake happened in Haiti. And many physicians and many people in the professional field and different technicians, right now they are in Atlanta, in North Carolina, South Carolina, to help out with the victim of the Hurricane Florence. So this shows that Muslims are living here as humans, as Muslims, and as Americans since the last 5 centuries. Muslims around the world, there are 1.6 billion Muslims around the world. Only 19% are from the Arab background. So which country do you think is the most populous Muslim country in the world?
Indonesia.
All of them know the answer. All of you should be here speaking right now. Let me go and eat the food. I'm serious. I have never heard any other open house crowd who knew that many answers, and all of them correct answers. Something in the food, I think. I'm not sure. 57 Muslim majority countries, and there are 500,000 Muslims living in Chicago, not just in the US. In the US, 7 million, by the way, and growing. So this shows that Muslims are living here for many centuries, and these are some of the countries in which Muslims came to the USA, about 57 countries.